everyone, Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and today I'm going to teach you how to turn one of these Easter eggs from Michaels into something beautiful that you can hang outside. Originally they were priced at $19.99, however they were 40% off, plus I used 20% off my total purchase. So now what I've done is I've placed one nail just by hammering it using my wire snips, and I know that's not the proper way, but it's a very thin plastic. So now what we're doing is we're feeding some very thin wire through two of the holes on the top. This is how we're going to hang our Easter egg from a lamppost, from a light, from a hanging basket holder, you name it, they would look great anywhere. So I just made sure to tie it a couple times on the inside, and there we have it. So now we're going to take one styrofoam ball and cut it into 4 equal pieces. We're only going to need 2 of these pieces, and what I'm doing now is I'm applying a generous amount of hot glue and really adding some pressure to keep it in place. So as you can see, some of the hot glue is leaking through. That's perfectly fine. We want this to be as secure as possible. Although this won't last a lifetime, this should easily last a season or 2. So once the glue is hardened, we can begin designing it. And what we have right here is a spray of cherry blossoms that we picked up from Michaels. So I'm just breaking them down into smaller pieces. Each stem's getting broken down at least 2 or 3 times. We don't really want the stems to be too long, or else it'll be disproportionate with the rest of the Easter egg. So to secure them in place in the styrofoam, we're just using some hot glue. So my method of applying hot glue is to always use my glue skillet. It's one of my favorite tools in my shop, and as you can see, it's really easy to use and it makes the job a lot faster and saves on your hands. So we've broken down the entire spray of the cherry blossoms, and that's one of 2 flowers we're going to be adding today. Our next flower is going to be a smaller white filler flower. Feel free to choose whatever color scheme you would like. What I think would be wicked cool is to take all 3 of them that come within a kit from Michaels, and whether it use the same flowers or similar flowers and greenery, having them staggered in different heights would create a really cool effect. So now we're just finishing up with the cherry blossoms, and as you can see, you get a lot of cherry blossoms for the $4 or $5 you get from a stem at Michaels. But now it's time to incorporate our next color, which are some smaller white filler flowers. So at this point in time, I do encourage you to pick it up from the wire and make sure that it's balanced and it's not disproportionate, having too much on one side, which kind of can make the Easter egg be off kilter. So now we're just breaking down the white flower. We're doing the same thing as the cherry blossoms, where we're breaking each stem into smaller and smaller parts so that we don't have too long of stems. Even though I don't plan on keeping this design forever, we do want to make sure that it lasts at least a couple seasons, so you'll notice that I'm hot gluing these stems in as well. The biggest challenge we're going to have over time, whether it be a year from now or 2 years from now, would be the styrofoam secured to the plastic itself. So we did make sure to use a substantial amount of hot glue, but that's probably the biggest issue we'll face, and by the time that starts peeling off here in Massachusetts, I'll probably be sick of this piece anyway, and we'd probably want to change it up with something more modern and fresh. Which at that point, what we can always do is just peel off the rest of the styrofoam and use the Easter eggs for a different project. So now we're adding our final few white flowers, and as you can see, it's really starting to fill up. The biggest issue I see right now with this is a little too much of the styrofoam. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come back in with some greenery. It's just going to take one spray. And of course, if you have extras lying around, feel free to use scrap florals that you might have. So I'm just breaking down one of these sprays from Hobby Lobby. This is something that they carry year-round. And as you can see, I am breaking it into tiny little pieces. And then we can just hot glue those close to the styrofoam to hide it as much as possible. Once we finish up with the greenery, what I thought we would do is add a couple more Easter eggs. You don't really have to add these by any means, but I'm just using them more along the lines to cover up any more of the styrofoam that's showing, and I thought they blended really nicely with the flowers. So we're just placing a couple of them, and then after that we'll show you guys the final effect. I didn't actually secure the bottom half to the top half. As you can see, there's little latches which keep it in place. I want to thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun creating this. And if you guys don't mind giving this video a share, a like, as well as checking out my Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I greatly appreciate it. Bye everyone.